Hello everyone and welcome back to Resume U. My name is Courtney and in today's video we're going to go through the do's and don'ts of resume building. So this is a good starting point for those who never drafted a resume before, as well as those who maybe have something drafted, just maybe wants a little bit more guidance on how to get things going. So just be sure to watch this video all the way through to hear of those tips and tricks, as well as be sure to look out on our website where we will have a matching article with the notes recapping what we went through today. And if you're looking for more tips and tricks, be sure to hit that subscribe button and follow us along as we're going to post weekly here of all the things to resume building. So without further ado, let's get things going with your do's and don'ts. Do keep everything you can to one page. One-page resumes. A recruiter takes on average 6 to 7 seconds to review your resume. So anything that you want that's important to the job, be sure to include that in one page. The only exception for 2 pages is if you maybe had years of experience, many jobs where you can align that to 2 pages. But for you guys as students, please try to keep it to 1 page there. So do number 2, do write your descriptions in bullet points. When I say descriptions, I mean the descriptions for your job. So telling the recruiter what you did at each internship or job that you had. So keep that to bullet point descriptions. Paragraphs can be a little bit clunky and hard to read on a resume. Like I said, 6 to 7 seconds is the average a recruiter takes. So bullet point descriptions there is the easiest way they can read things. So do keep your things to bullet points. Do number 3, have things very simple. Keep it simple. So by that, I mean simple layout, simple colors. So layout wise, you can go 1 to 2 columns, but make sure everything is clean and headers are formatted nice and neat. Try to avoid any crazy designs there. Remember, just keep things just simple, concise, and clear. And then same goes for colors. Black and white is probably your best bet here to go for in terms of colors. Crazy colors is something we should try to avoid altogether. So keep things nice and simple. Do number 4, when you are writing your experience descriptions, be sure to have them in reverse chronological order. Your most recent experience goes on the top of your resume, and then your oldest experience goes on the bottom. So if you did something a week ago, that goes on the top, or something's current, that goes on the top. If you did something 2 years ago, that is going to go on the bottom. You want your most current experience on top. Do try to tailor your resume to the job that you're applying for. Now with that, just means tweaking it to match it to the applicant tracking system. Now this doesn't mean taking word for word what's in the job description, just more so looking out for keywords that stand out in the job description and trying to put that in your resume. So if there's certain words like project management or manage or created or video stuff, just try to include that within your resume there. Just make sure you're tweaking everything to the job description there so that it can go through the applicant tracking system. Because at the end of the day, they are looking for those keywords and filtering everything out so that it gets forward to a human recruiter. So just be sure to look on that there. Do number 6 here, and that is do use a professional email. So this is something that might slip through the cracks if you wanted to use your personal email instead. So just make sure that the email is just nice, like nice looking, something that's not unprofessional. So if you have a student account and it's just your first and last name, that's perfectly fine. So for me, it would be Courtney.Murphy I went to Temple at temple.edu. So that's perfectly fine. If you had something other professional in your Gmail or Yahoo, that's fine. Just don't have something that says, I love Justin Bieber 123. Might not be something that should happen. So just be sure to keep the email professional. This is another one, be consistent. So just be consistent with the font sizes you use as well as the font in general. So you want a font that's nice and readable. So something like Times New Roman and Arial font, things that actually work well on the screen and on paper. You don't want something that's a little bit clunky and something that's more creative, maybe just not easy to read. So make sure to keep that there. Again, also to font sizing. This might be something that might get overlooked, but this is also an important factor. So you want like anything body-wise to be between 10 and 12 size font. So like the bullet point descriptions or your skills or any of that stuff to be in that size. If anything is larger, it might be your heading or your name. So just keep that in mind when you're crafting your resume there. Probably the most important one, of course, be sure to proofread and get a second pair of eyes on your resume. So this is something I did when I was in my media school, was I looked through student resumes that they just sent over to me, and we could catch so many things from spelling errors, grammatical errors, formatting errors. So it's always important that you get a second pair of eyes, whether it's a career counselor or a friend or a professor, to look over that resume and just make sure it looks clean. There's no spelling errors, there's no grammatical errors or any of that. So second pair of eyes, proofreading, editing is always good to know. I will leave that with your last do. And let's move on to the things you should avoid. These are don'ts. Don't do these. Your first don't: do not use any personal pronouns. By that I mean I, me, we, myself, any of that. Just don't do that. It is not necessary. Your name is on your resume, so therefore we should know it's you. Don't lie in your resume either. That's an extra don't. Do not put references upon request. Just don't do it. Most applications have a reference section, so just put your references there if it requires it, but don't put references upon request on your resume. It's just not necessary. Again, this is a don't we just touched upon a bit earlier. Don't include loud colors, so things like neon or bright orange or bright yellow. Try to keep things nice and professional. So black and white, like I said, is going to be your safest bet, as well as don't include a photo. Photos don't often go through applicant tracking systems, as well as just takes up the part of the page where it may just could be used for somewhere else. So don't include a photo and don't use loud colors. One thing you should avoid is try to avoid using those pre-made templates that are within Microsoft or Google Docs. I know we want something that's a bit more convenient, something that's just readily available for us to do. And you see that on Google Docs, you want to click on it, but just be mindful that probably others are thinking the same thing. So if you use that, you may have the same style resume as hundreds of other people that might be applying for the job. So just be mindful of that. So just, if you can, just start from scratch. And that's a wrap for today, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me in today's session. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and follow us along as we continue to provide tips and tricks on resume building. And be sure to look out for our website, as well as follow us on LinkedIn, where we will post everything as well. Thank you so much again, you guys, and have a great rest of your day.